What do you mean run them off? Like chase them up the mountain?
And it's a big bull.
Generations of rats that are living underneath it.
It is August 28th, 2024, and I haven't been on the ranch in 2 weeks. I am out here because we have a higher chance of rain, and Brandon's just going to give me a quick tour to show me what he's been up to the last 2 weeks, and I think this would be a good update for the viewers as well, so I'm going to take you on the tour. Where do you want to start, sir? Beaver dams?
Let's do the dams first. That's the hard part.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the pile of willow that you got over there.
Ready to probably top off these first couple that we made because they're a little lower in the middle.
Ah, yeah.
That's probably where that particular load will go.
Which is a good time for me to point out that a lot of people had suggestions on the beaver dams and ways they think I should have tweaked it. I'm not allowed to tweak it because it's a grant, and the people that write me the checks get to tell me how to build it. So one of the requirements is that it does not have a low spot. It doesn't need to be laser level, but it does need to be reasonably like eyeball level across the middle. This is the one that Brandon and I built together.
So I did put a little more sticks on top, but there's not much else has been done. Other than I came back with the pile driver and seeded these a little better.
Nice. Yeah, these look way lower in the ground. Okay, so that's one. I remember these sotol. Speaking of alcoholic beverages that we were just talking about,
that's one called that. It's specifically a Texas spirit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And for you to try as a hobby, we have enough sotol on the ranch. That's something you might enjoy doing, is just trying to make it yourself. That was a stalk that I took the seeds off last year and spread around.
Stuff has wicked teeth.
Yeah, it does. Oh, wow. That one's good size. That's a great spot. Now, what's cool is that bank of clay right behind it.
So this is number 2.
Nice. Wow, that's the
spot where you already had a check dam.
That's perfect. It looks like you expanded it too, because I don't remember ever making it that wide.
I probably put a couple of more.
No, it's great.
Posts. I know it on the plan it said 6, but it just didn't seem like enough in that spot.
Cool.
So I added it.
Nobody's going to complain about overbuilding.
No. Probably not going to be the default to overbuild.
No.
Since we got a lot more to build and limited amount of time to do it for the grant.
Yeah, because our due date is September 24th. Whoa, yeah, man, there's no doubt that's gonna kick that water up out of the bank.
The silt will build up, I think, more in this part.
Yeah, it will.
The videos and pictures as I was building is hard to really show it because it's not a thing that people are used to looking at.
No.
If you can move around and actually see what's going on.
This is so cool. Man, this one's huge. I can see you shoveled a lot of material.
So I used a cooler. We had a comment that said on the first one, you told me that we don't need to take, on the first one in our first video, we're shoveling from like right here. So we're just ruining, the water's gonna get by. So you can see where that's all dug up right there. That's where a lot of the dirt came from, right here and here. And I used a cooler that was for an old swamp cooler and tied a string to it. And then you can just drag it down where you want it.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry it or...
Yeah, break your back.
And then, yeah, slides real easy.
What always amuses me is that people see this footage and they think, Man, why aren't you using a wheelbarrow? Brandon doesn't feel the need to describe that, but I don't know if you guys understand how steep this hillside is. Like, you're not going with the wheelbarrow. Well, I mean, the wheelbarrow will definitely go down.
Yeah, you're not controlling it full of dirt.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if, I guess this just doesn't come across on camera because it's,
Pretty steep pitch, right?
yeah, it's like, this is no joke. And for people that are worried about this going around the dam, the low spot is actually, sorry, I'm still sliding down the hillside, is actually around that post up there. So it'll slowly eat that bank away, and then the water is still coming through this BDA, so it gets to stay in the channel. You know, Brandon, there's a lot of clay here too.
Yeah.
This is all clay. That's funny because I had never noticed it before.
That's number 3, correct?
Yes, this is 1. Yeah, 2 and 3. I don't know if that's coming across on camera. It's a small screen. Okay. And then now, this is fun because I never get to walk down here. This is fun because the valley's not quite so steep.
These foxtail cactus are cool. It's got so many little species, little furry guys.
Mm-hmm.
May not be the path of least resistance to walk in the channel itself, but you know,
It's the safest.
you can fall down, you don't fall far.
Yeah. No, you won't hear me complaining about walking in the channel.
Snake down here on the dam number 2. There's a burrow right there too.
You know what kind of snake?
I don't. It was brief, but he went into the dam, so it's already
It's already working.
serving as habitat. Obviously, this one's not as equal in space.
Well, you don't pick the map. We're putting the dams where NRCS tells us to put them. More or less. With some discretion. Like 10 or 20 yards discretion. Cool. Oh, so there's your slide. Well, you can show me the dam first.
It is.
Yeah, that's
It
great.
has more curve to it. Of course, it's wider spot in the channel. Lots and lots of organic material. It doesn't look like much, but it's just so compact that you can't really see it.
I mean, that's half the point.
A lot of material sticking out this way to slow the fall of the water.
Let me get a view of the dam. This is actually really cool.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, you kind of appreciate the dam better on the downhill side.
Interesting looking down here.
And then here's your quote-unquote wheelbarrow.
Yeah, it's a nice special cooler.
And then you have your game slide slash brush slide.
So I've been loading it like half full. So
Yeah, it's not
you
too
can actually
heavy.
pick it up and put it where you want at the bottom.
Cool.
Carefully. Like on my knee first and then flip it over.
Yeah.
Not to bear all the weight, not to move around while I'm holding a heavy thing because you know my hips aren't brand new.
No. I like it too because you're accidentally digging a dirt bathtub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not exactly accidentally. Coincidentally.
Coincidentally. That's pretty easy.
Yep. That's okay.
There you go.
So that probably needs
One
a little
down.
more of that.
Yeah, one down, 100 to go.
Uh-huh.
Not quite, but interesting. See that that sotol behind you? That's huge. That's the biggest one I've seen on the ranch, I think. I haven't walked down here in a while. So that's 4. Do you remember where number 5? Number 5 goes in that finger over there, doesn't it?
There'll be one just at the junction of that wash and this one, like just at the where they meet.
Okay.
And then I don't know about the location of the other ones, but you know, some.
Yeah,
over
one at a
there,
time.
and then more down that way.
You want to
What do
go?
think? Do they look like you thought they looked?
Yeah, exactly. Like just like you said, you got to make sure that they're not lower in the middle, so they just need some touch-ups. But yeah, it looks fantastic. And I'm excited to see that the vegetation is like there's some like that ephedra is still growing right in the middle there, and
Try not to take out too much vegetation because that's counterproductive.
yeah, yes it is. I mean, they look great. There's tons and tons of organic matter and tons of soil in there, so they really ought to hold up pretty well. We'll just see what happens when it finally rains.
I look forward to seeing the water slow down.
Me too.
Pile up.
All right, you want to show me the manure or the terrace?
Terrace is on the way to the manure, so let's check that out.
Let's do it. Thank you to Mint Mobile for sponsoring today's episode. Supporting my sponsors like Mint Mobile is what makes this project possible. I'm taking all of the income from this project and reinvesting it. It goes into Brandon's salary, Daniel's salary, the equipment. All of these things are happening because of sponsors like Mint Mobile. I like Mint Mobile just because it works. When you're selecting a mobile carrier, really what you care about is reliability and if something goes wrong that they're going to take care of you. Otherwise, it just comes down to price. And that's why Mint Mobile was selected. They've gotten rid of all of the extra overhead, like having bazillions of stores everywhere. Everything is phone-based to keep costs down. Part of Mint Mobile's commitment to its customers is no crazy fees, no shenanigans. The contracts are super simple and they're made in different increments. The longer your contract is, the cheaper it gets, but you're not locked in. You can do a 3-month commitment, you can do a year commitment. Pick what works for you and your budget. All plans include unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network, plus free calling to Mexico and Canada, and hotspot tethering is included. The average American only uses 7 to 8 gigabytes of data on their phone per month. So when people get forced into one-size-fits-all plans, they're buying a lot more than they need. Mint Mobile lets you select a data plan that's appropriate for what you're actually using. The less you use, the cheaper it is. You can select a plan from 5, 15, or 20 gigabytes, or even unlimited. I need the unlimited plan. All plans come with a 7-day unlimited money-back guarantee. Click on the link below or scan the QR code that you see on the screen. That will take you to Mint Mobile, where new customers can get the unlimited plan for just $15 per month for the first 3 months. Thank you again to Mint Mobile for sponsoring. It's your support and your interaction with my sponsors that are helping turn this place into a desert forest.
You see how this creosote is on a mound? I think it's because of generations of those rats that are living underneath it. They're bringing in their organic material for their
That's a nice way to put it.
stockpile. They're bringing in cow poop and food, and cow poop is food too, I would imagine, for them. If it's the root ball or if it's because of the cavities that they're digging underneath there, but I would think that the plants they are doing that underneath benefit from that.
Well, you can tell there's an obvious change in the soil because there's the absence of all the gravel.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah,
I do that there, but if I come out here,
that ain't happening.
well, that's still on it. But I come out here and
Yeah.
well, it's denser.
You're gonna tear up your fingernails. That's interesting because Catherine's been talking a lot about Krebels mice and prairie dog colonies in native food forests with that the Arapaho planted with choke cherries and prickly pear. And she sees the same thing where these basically become natural tunnels for, in the case of Krebels mice, bison manure and all those things. Here we have kangaroo rats probably doing the same thing. And obviously they're peeing and pooing in there.
Feeding that plant.
Feeding the creosote. All right, so let's detour because it's so much easier walking up this hillside if we start with the manure and then we walk down to the terrace.
Sounds good.
Have you had any luck starting the chipper? Yeah.
Yes, I've started it, but every time I get it going, if I were to say, take a good chunk like that and stick it in, which is well within the diameter parameters.
Right.
Stick it in there. It says up to 3 inches. It'll start to chip it. Won't chip the whole thing. Just cuts off.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that's something I can adjust or what.
I think we can figure it out. But okay.
But it starts up right away.
We'll walk up here. This makes me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
Little raindrop splashes in the sand. Not very much, but that must have been recent because that would blow away if we had any wind.
Which we definitely have.
Lots of wind, lots of sun. And for those of you wondering about wind power, we're a little outside the famous Texas corridor where there's constant supplies of winds like in Amarillo. We have a meaningful amount of wind, but it's not steady. So right now we only have like a mile or 2 an hour breeze. It's just like the rain. We either have absolutely nothing or way too much.
So the first load that I got before this last one, since you've been, I've gotten 2 manure bed loads, right?
Cool.
The first one was piled on that pile up there.
You can see all the straw.
Second one, yeah.
And it came with the straw and the manure.
Yeah. It was just mixed together, you know.
That's even better.
Yeah. Manure is really fine. They came with this sand, so it kind of settled to the bottom, so it's not just grass. From right here, where you can see it's rough, so about half of that load is mixed in right here down to 6-8 inches.
Wow.
Seeing the straw on top, don't think that it's not mixed in. This is mixed. It just, some of that floats, you know, on the sand.
Yeah.
Not gonna hurt anything.
Not at all.
Extra mold.
Straw is excellent.
You had mixed in, what I want to say,
Yeah, I mixed half.
half of that. I mixed in the other half and then I did that.
Thank you.
Yep. There's another load up there. I found the Matic, or what's that tool that you suggested?
The McLeod.
The McLeod tool is a little unwieldy for me.
Yeah.
Maybe if the ground was a little softer.
Okay.
But I've been doing like work it in.
They just turn it.
Turn it. And I'll do that twice and get real deep. But you can see it's already,
Yeah, it's very well mixed.
it's not just dirt under there.
So to people asking, why don't you pick up all these stones?
I don't have a good answer for that.
I do, because there's more stones. Like, you're never going to pick them all up.
Yeah.
Like, the plants have just got to grow in the stones.
You know what's under that stone is a stone.
Yeah, and under that stone,
More stones.
more stones.
Obviously, that prickly pear is not afraid of stones.
Yeah, exactly. So let me walk over here to the edge. All right, this right here is the line. How much do you think we've mixed in so far on this terrace?
Lengthwise, like
Yeah.
in there, 20 yards.
Yeah, that looks right. And that's without us using the dump trailer, because it doesn't make sense with the Tacoma. I got to get you the Suburban back out here, because you know that engine code on the Suburban,
The four-wheel drive
Yeah.
service, the four-wheel drive.
Yeah, it won't come back up. I can't get it to code.
Well,
so
it has come up and down, but did you notice that? I don't think you've had occasion to put it in four-wheel drive since you've left.
in the big city,
Yeah.
shocking. I did try to cycle it a couple of times on the road just to make it code, but it wouldn't.
I'm sure somebody who's a mechanic could tell me, but it wants to go when you have it in 4. I'll put it in neutral and stop and try and get it to go into 2, and it goes to 4 low, and then it like sticks there.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
2001 Suburban. All right. Terrace.
Terrace. Let's go this way.
All right. I'll follow your lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go down the.
This looks pretty good.
This is the the spillway,
That's fine.
which you can see right here. And then it flows down this way, and I don't especially care where it goes after that.
Give them a cloud tool. Just the big swinging and the big impacts, and
Not your favorite?
not my favorite.
That's all right.
This doesn't work for me, okay.
I don't care which tool you use as long as it gets done. Well, it's definitely green and definitely growing.
So up at this end, the emitters are starting to clog this week.
Are they?
It's been about a week and haven't had occasion to replace yet, but they're not all new enough.
All right, let me through here.
We have plenty of replacements, but you know,
Well, have you flushed the filter?
the one at the top, yes. This down here, no, but I could do that.
Yeah, that'd be good to do. Wow.
It's all you have to do is to flip the switch, or do you have to pull it?
You just like while there's water in the line, you just open the.
And it'll push out.
Yeah, it'll flush it. There's nothing you have to do other than open the valve and close it. What I'm excited about is seeing all this big growth over here, Brandon. Because this area of the terrace has always been the one that's been the least exciting.
Yeah.
And
Elephant grass is going nuts, or whatever this grass.
yeah, this is an elephant grass. This is actually I should ID this because
It was just in the seed mix.
yeah,
Your proprietary
that
desert forest mix.
my proprietary desert forest mix, which was available in the planting plan. Wow, that's seeding already. That's not good.
Yeah, you see those flowers?
Yeah, you
Uh,
don't want that.
You don't, huh?
No, we need to. Well, I'll come back with secateurs tomorrow and cut that off. We absolutely don't want it putting energy into seeds.
Who needs them?
Put on Google Lens and see what it says. It didn't find anything. Let me just take a picture. One. A close up. I'll just put it on PlantNet and see if it'll ID it. It's sorghum.
Cool. Want this back?
Yeah. Yeah, this camera's got to go back to the repair shop. It's the gimbal motor's not happy. Hopefully that's not causing the viewers problems.
You can see some's been eaten. See here? I'm thinking jackrabbit, based on the height.
Maybe, but
Could be a cottontail too, or just the kangaroo rats.
something. But that's the advantage to having the sorghum is it's a decoy. Like
Yeah.
they can eat all the sorghum they want. Just leave the trees alone.
It's like rabbit to me. Time to eat some of them, huh? Is it chicken wire or eat all the rabbits? Or both?
Eating is going to be the most successful strategy.
Poor little guy's eating up.
Yeah. He's had better days. For sure. Alright, now I'm seeing more.
That rattle bush, it's
It's exploded.
taking off.
Here, let me, you want to stand next to it for context?
Sure.
You can see,
Also going to seed.
is it? Yeah, go ahead and cut it.
Right.
And here in the frame,
All
you
the
can
buds
see,
off.
yeah, you can see Palo Verde, and then you can see how tall that rattle bush is on Brandon. And that'll grow up to 6 or 8 feet.
You sure that's not a cow's tongue? It sure is a long prickly pear piece.
Yeah,
A
that,
nice rabbit bite on the top of it.
yeah. Yeah, I think I know your new hunting spot.
Me
Ben,
and the 22 might just start camping up here every night.
I mean, we're feeding them. Like, I don't,
Might
like,
as well get fed.
Yeah, exactly.
So many of those are so elongated, aren't they?
They are.
I've seen that on most of the prickly pear.
No.
But we planted the prickly. We didn't plant cowstone, so those are coming off of the regular.
Yeah, because every cactus here was
Those aren't
picked on the
seed.
ranch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a permanent instruction. If you are walking and you see any kind of flower on the terrace, it's got to go.
Check.
But yeah, look at these Palo Verde. These are...
They're thorning now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny because now I'm excited. Because now they got some defense.
Heck yeah.
It's funny because there's 40 different seeds in the mix. 41. Yeah, the rabbit got to the cactus again. There's 41 different seeds in the mix, and everything popping up is just Palo Verde and rattlebush. The rest of this is all grass.
This is the grass that's on that hillside that I didn't walk you up to
Oh,
show you.
really?
So there's a clump of that down by the well on that hillside.
Cool. So we got a native grass going, which we'll do in a couple of days. Is we'll plant native seeds, native grass seeds.
I mean, I assume it's native because it's down there, but there's not anybody walking around picking invasive plants.
No, not here. So let's see what this says. Take some pictures. Good close-up of the leaf. No, it's definitely not Johnson grass because I didn't plant any Johnson grass. I don't think there's millet in that seed mix. Now I got to go see the seed mix because
It occurs to me that the doves that were eating all the seeds probably deposited some other seeds.
quite possibly. I'm excited about this little band of Palo Verde, like all growing super dense.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's not quite time yet, but like, you see how you have these two competing and these two competing.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we're gonna want to start eliminating the competition.
A little culling.
A little bit, not yet.
Got it.
Oh man.
Aren't these... Oh, look at that purple cactus there. It's great.
It's doing awesome. It's also really fun planting the different varieties. Because you see how dead it looks. Like the mother plant, it looks completely gone. I can't wait to get up here with more native seeds and getting the grasses growing, because that's what's going to make this place look
Oh, yeah.
just alive.
Here's an outlier. Or a couple.
You haven't seen that before.
Yeah, these are a little later coming up. So it's something different, but something from your mix. And our first big pad that grew. Okay, looking succulent. I stuck a rainbow cactus in over here.
Cool.
Seems to be doing all right.
Yeah, that's a fun addition. All right. Awesome. This looks so good. We'll come back tomorrow and get the seeds in the ground, and more forest, more plants. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My desert forest is 4 months into its existence. Although I've done what I can to protect my work, if the cattle ever get in there, it'll set me back at least a year. I was dismayed when Brandon sent me these videos.
And it's a big bull. Almost all the way at the Oxford Canyon crossing of Oxford Canyon Road. Look at it. Bye. Coming up to camp from El Paso. They were in the road as I drove. They were south of camp, maybe 50 yards. I yelled at them and they ran up towards the ridge as I passed. Get! Get! They look juicy, don't they? What do you mean run them off? Like chase them up the mountain?
Brandon's concerns for his safety are legitimate. Ranching and farm work in general can be dangerous, especially when you're working around live animals that weigh over 1,000 pounds and they're not used to dealing with humans. I wish there was a way where we could have practiced or simulated this in advance. It's a good example of how you can explain something a couple of times, but when you actually encounter the real scenario, It's just different. You need experience. Brandon sent them running with a gunshot from his pistol. My only concern with a gunshot is that you don't control where they're going to run off to. My first time deer hunting, I took a shot at 150 yards, and the poor animal heard the shot and took off at a dead sprint right at me. So by the time it closed to 30 yards, I mean, even I, who am a terrible shot, couldn't help but hit the target. It seems logical to get cattle moving with a gunshot, but my hunting story shows you that you cannot ever predict how animals, or people, will act under stress.
What do you mean run them off?
Brandon's attempts to try to herd the cattle by drone were amusing. It'd be great if it worked, because that is the safest thing to do. You're out of range of the cattle to charge. But as you can see from the way the cattle are watching the drone charge them, they don't care at all. I've been using my neighbor's water well for the past 4 months, and although I haven't had any concerns about it for the plants, some viewers were absolutely convinced that I'd be pouring poison water all over my plants and permanently ruining the area. I didn't have that concern at all because I've seen the historical water tests and I knew what to expect. This area has been abandoned for more than 50 years. There's no reason to expect that the water quality or any of the contaminants would have changed. We are well outside the oil patch in this area. But I do care about the water that I'm putting in my body. I got the results from the water well, and everything looks awesome. There's no bacteria in the water, no heavy metals in the water, there's no methyl ethyl weird stuff. It looks good. There's only 2 caveats. One is the iron level's pretty high. That's not super hard to filter out. The only thing of concern is the fluoride levels, which are sky high. Once we filter it out, we have a pretty large supply of clean water. Another minor change we made was lifting the well pump about another 10 feet off the bottom of the well, and that made a huge difference. We're not sucking up so much sediment through the pump, wearing that out quicker than it needs to. Water's coming out way cleaner, no smells, no weird stuff. It's good water. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
It is pretty soon going to give out. I would imagine it needs to get replaced pretty soon.
We got to replace the rope.
I think otherwise we're going to lose our pump.
All right, I'll let you pick the rope.
Okay. All right, I'll shop for it.
Okay, and you just actually buy it because you got the card.
I'll do it.
Of course, Brandon and I also require water, and instead of bringing it all the way from Sierra Blanca, 38 to 42 miles away, it would be so much nicer if we could just have drinking water 3 miles away. It's not just the time savings, it's also the wear and tear on the equipment. A common theme in this project is having to learn new skills. This week, it was learning how to read a chemical analysis. The measured level of the fluoride was 8.73 milligrams per liter, and I didn't understand what the column DF meant. In fact, I kind of skimmed over it for a while, but I learned that it stands for dilution factor, and that to get to the actual concentration of the well water, I have to multiply the result by 5 to get the real value. The well water actually has 43.6 milligrams per liter of fluoride, and that's more than 10 times the recommended maximum in drinking water, so yeah, we need to filter the fluoride before we drink it. And of course, we're irrigating with this water, and it has heavy fluoride concentrations, and those can build up in the soil over time. But that's really a question of volume. The more water you use, the more concentrated fluoride that you build up over time. But I maybe have used 2,000 gallons of water for the entire year, and it might even be less than that. Depending on how the plants are doing next year, I might give the plants on the terrace 1 more year of water before they're cut off, but that's it. So far, I don't see any signs or symptoms of fluoride stress, so I just don't think I'm using enough water to build up the fluoride, even when it's unfiltered. But if I was going to use this water for my food, well, that's a totally different story, and I think that's a great reason to filter out the fluoride before we use it on plants. My only experience has been using fluoride filters with a Berkey at home, which I've heard not great things about, which is why I stopped using the fluoride filters. If you've got an idea for how I can filter fluoride out of my water, please leave a comment. John Wilson watches Dust Ups from Oklahoma, and he is something of an evangelist for Johnson Sioux compost. No, that is not a brand. That is a scientific process for making compost. I've heard of it several times. When I was on Jack Spirko's podcast, he was encouraging me off air to really go for it, and he thinks I should be making it at home. But what really convinced me, it was this image of the tree that got me. You can see the part on the left of the tree that he treated with Johnson Sioux, and it almost looks like a mutant. It is so healthy and vigorous compared to the rest of the untreated tree. Johnson Sioux compost is a fungal-dominated compost which my bacteria-dominated soil so desperately needs. Its benefits include improving soil structure, increasing water retention, promoting microbial diversity, and, most importantly, lots of green plant growth. I feel like a mad alchemist because I'm about to brew some dirt. Instead of my usual coffee, this is the finest filtering system I have on the ranch, and I'm about to inoculate the terrace with Johnson Sioux compost. So with 3,500 square feet, this is going to require 9 tablespoons of compost tea, and that's it. 7, 8, 9, and I feel like I've undercut a little bit. That's it. That is all of the compost that's going to be required to inoculate a single terrace. I'm going to wet this, and then I'm going to stir it vigorously for about 1.5 minutes. Then I'm going to go put the finely filtered contents into the drip irrigation system, where it will drip irrigate for an hour nice and deeply into the terrace, away from the heat and the wind and the sun, so that we can get the soil inoculated and bring it to life. So I agitated the water for 90 seconds. And we only want the actual germs. We don't want particulates. And I have double 150 mesh in the drip irrigation, so even if some does slip through, like with coffee, you're going to get some grounds. With my compost tea, I'm going to get some particulates that slip through, but I'll go add this into the drip irrigation and we'll grow some microbes. I'm driving with the French press in between my legs on my little ranch road, making sure that I don't spill it and trying to find the stop button so that I don't have to take my eyes off the road. There we go. Cheers. Let me see how dark this stuff is. Yeah, it's pretty clear. And importantly, no chunks are coming out. It looks like the weakest coffee I've ever made. Okay, and then now I just gotta get the pump on. Cool. Send it. There it goes. We'll just flush the line before the next one with this one here and then the one down there, and should all be good. If you like the update on the terrace, but you want to see an update across the entire work area, including the dirt bathtubs and camp, then the footage does not have to stop here. I've got a free bonus episode available for you right now, and you will not find it on YouTube. Click on the link in the description or scan the QR code that you see on the screen, and you will go straight to the bonus episode right now. Thank you so much for watching.